I pan from left to right, you think, or just stay stationary? Left to right? I'll do a couple. Just kind of covered up my yeah, something, and then we kind of like exactly frame it so where we can see it. Do you have an idea as well, Louise?
My name is Keith Amador, and I actually am involved with a program that we partner with Child Support Services in. And it's a group that is designed to help non-custodial parents as far as learning how to parent better and how to develop, more importantly, relationship and connections with their children. So it's a kind of interesting story. I had actually applied for a position here at Center for Human Services and didn't get the job, but that's okay because as a result of that, I was able to get more information. Well, the passion that drives the work that I do currently with non-custodial parents really comes from my own experience. I basically experienced the difficulty of trying to raise children. When after I first was married and was clueless, and really it was in large part due just to the lack of connection and modeling with my own parents. And so as a result of those difficult times, that's really what fuels my passion for working with non-custodial parents now, and parents in general, and in particular fathers. Well, the program is very important because in this particular partnership that we have with child support, men and women have actually gone through difficult times, in particular because of cultural messages, particularly being called, let's say, a deadbeat dad or a deadbeat mother. And with this program, we're able to explore those cultural messages and help those fathers and mothers that participate to be able to overcome the stigmas that society has placed upon them. And so it's about them discovering more about themselves and who they are as a man or as a woman, and then being able to gain some hope that they can gain the skills and the tools they need to parent their children.
Luis, there we go.
What would you tell someone about this program or service?
Well, at the moment, this service is really restricted to those who are involved in the child support system, and so at the moment, it's not available, to the public at this point. But that is our hope. We're sort of laying some groundwork with this program that at some point, this type of support for fathers in particular will be available to our city and even to our county. And so at this point, it's sort of limited because it is a study, and you have to go through a process to get enrolled in it and have to meet certain criteria. Well, there was one particular participant who had missed one of the sessions, and I recall standing outside our agency and having a discussion with some other fathers. And I remember carpooling up, and I noticed this particular individual who had not been able to be there today, and he gets out of the car with a big smile on his face. He comes up and says, "Hey, Keith, I'm sorry that I missed the session today, but I had a chance to be with my daughter." And I looked in the car and I could see this smiling teenager. And he went on to explain to me that he was able to spend the whole day with her, go shopping and do some things together. And he hadn't done that in a long time. And so just to see the joy on his face, it really makes what we do fulfilling and gratifying to see that it's helping. Well, there's not goals per se, but they're given opportunity to consider tools and strategies, ways of being with their children that others have found to be successful in building relationships. So nobody comes into the group and is told, you need to do this. Everybody is presented with ideas and thoughts, through the curriculum on my shoulders, that covers things like communication, personality, understanding your own personality, the personality of your child. There's even a topic about happiness. What does that mean? How do we find happiness? There is a personal road mapping session where someone's able to go back and look at their life and kind of see retrospectively what they've been through, positively and negatively, and to be able to see why they are the way they are today. But then more importantly, to be able to see those negative things and maybe not to repeat that, and maybe to see where they can make those changes. So there's just a number of things that are presented to the non-custodial parents that will hopefully help them get the tools that they need and be able to be successful in their relationships, not only with their children, which is really the primary goal, but with anyone that's in their life. Hope for what we're doing now is that it truly does lay a foundation for being able to engage fathers better. I think that mothers receive a lot of attention and services that most that are provided by the city, the state, and even our country. But there's very few that benefit fathers. And so my hope is that at least locally and even in our county, that this will lay that foundation. So we'll be able to more effectively engage fathers and be able to provide parenting training, support groups, employment services, just things that they need to be able to support themselves and their families. And so I think the time has come. Okay, so after they've completed all the sessions, we actually have a graduation at the end of the month. And so they'll come and we'll have some refreshments. We acknowledge them in front of the group, and then we present them with a certificate of completion. It's a laminated, really nice display for them to put up wherever. And so, it's just a great time to celebrate their accomplishment because many of these parents, some have a hard time just getting to the sessions. And so to be able to complete all 15 sessions is a major accomplishment. So we kind of make a big deal out of that.
But it's giving me a better chance to communicate. And that in itself is worth its weight in platinum. Because ultimately it's for the kids. It's about not punishing the kids for things. Be able to look up to a proper role model and to be able to engage and be involved in both parents and not be neglected or ignored in any situation. And I think that is critical to not just families but to our society as a whole. And I think that to be able to make people healthier one person at a time, I had to get my van smogged. And so we went to the store because it was going to take a while, and we picked up a thing of Starburst, 2 or 3 of them, I think, just to kind of have around to kind of, And the program actually talks about being charitable and being compassionate and to express that to your children. It wasn't that I wasn't those things already, but it re-emphasized or refocused on it. And so, we were walking, and I said, if you handed that candy out, to people as you're walking down, back to the place, I said, you might cheer up their day, and so here's Harley handing out pieces of Starburst to people she passes by on the street and everything else. And it's just a little thing, it's not a big thing, but you don't realize how much that encourages other people. When we got to this flower shop that we went by, she actually handed Harley another $2 to keep handing candy out. So so literally it just got in.
Well, I think the PASS program in general has helped out as far as learning how like an outlet to resources as far as finding jobs, how to go about it. And I think the main plus is the whole child support and how it's working out in our benefit. And also the class as well, because we grew relationships. Me being the first female coming in, the men actually got to be enlightened that it's not only the men that go through the things that they go through, it's women as well. So I think just growing the relationships and enlightening each other and being a support for everyone all around.
For me, it was also the class where they helped me communicate, like I said, the same thing with the kids better. It just opened so many doors with all my kids. I had one door open, but now I have 11 doors open. We have 11 kids together, so it opened them all up. So the class helped me out the most. Yes, finding a job was a good class too, the program they gave us. But to me, it was more the family, the kids. That's what helped me out the most.
Well, for myself, I think the program helped me with positive communication, not just with the co-parents, with my husband as well and our children, just learning how to be effective on their level.
Being able to communicate with them. I did know, but not with all my children. This class helped me communicate with all of them.
There's been quite a few moments, only because I've learned not to be so hard on my kids, but learning them and learning how to approach them in different areas of their life. But now I'm open, and I see that they can now come to me openly and not be afraid. You know, the communication has done tremendous things, because even though they might be hurt or disagree, we've opened it enough to where they feel safe to come and either vent or, you know, be excited of things that have taken place, or even if they've done something where they felt that they failed, they still feel safe enough to come and say, hey, you know, this is what had taken place, and they're okay with it. And so